Hello and welcome back to my channel. Jacob here, and today I'm talking about The Cormorant by Stephen Gregory. Hopefully I am pronouncing that right, and it is the winner of the Somerset Maugham Award. It says, Gregory writes with the hypnotic power of Poe, says Publishers Weekly. And it is a young family receives a surprise when old Uncle Ian dies and leaves them a cottage in North Wales. For Ian's nephew and his wife Anne, it seems a stroke of incredible good fortune, enabling them to leave their life in the city for a newfound freedom in the remote seaside cottage. There's just one catch. Uncle Ian's will has an unusual condition. The couple must care for his pet Cormorant, or forfeit the bequest. The will's provision seems harmless enough at first, but when their young son Harry develops a strange fascination for the increasingly sinister and malevolent bird, they soon find that Uncle Ian's gift may not be a blessing, but a curse. And The Cormorant, 1986, is Stephen Gregory's first novel, earned widespread critical acclaim, winning the Somerset Maugham Award, and drawing comparisons to the works of Poe. And this is a reprint by Valancourt Books and has this beautiful cover. I'm gonna be honest, at first I didn't really like this book. It is rather short, and I did actually reread it. And when I reread it, I liked it a little more. Because, yeah, there were parts in here that didn't really make sense to me, and then I think I just need to reread for clarification. This is a fun folk horror book as well. I'm gonna count this as folk horror because, once again, it is people moving from the city to a rural location that has some stuff that they don't quite understand, and then there is like the Cormorant, who they begin to suspect might be harboring like the spirit of Uncle Ian or perhaps someone in the surrounding area. Like, there's something sinister about this bird in the house. I did have to Google what a cormorant was, and I might be pronouncing that wrong. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, please let me know in the comments. I do apologize. But I did have to actually look it up. It is a sinister looking bird. It is like a demonic pelican looking duck thing. So I do get it being kind of sinister, and it's big, and I can get, like, as someone who grew up on a farm, like, we had turkeys and chickens, and at times we had geese and stuff like that. Like, these birds can get, like, those birds can get aggressive. They will chase you, they will claw you. So I can understand, like, not wanting a child around a big bird, right? Because, like, I mean, I've seen chickens kill each other by pecking each other in the heads. Like, it is a danger, especially like if you're a toddler. Like, that makes sense. And then when the toddler's own behavior starts to get kind of sinister, like there's a weird incesty moment he starts having with his like mother that's really weird, and she wants to get out of there. You know, like, that was pretty jarring, and I kind of liked, obviously not the incest, but I did like the fact that there are, it doesn't play into all the tropes I think of, like, when I think of folk horror. Like, there are some really jarring scenes in this book that just kind of get blown past, and I remember, like, holy shit, did that just happen? Which is pretty fun when you, like, take into consideration, like, this is only 120 pages. Like, so the fact that there's so many just, like, heavy-hitting scenes in this is really fun. The only sane person in here is the wife. I mean, she wants to leave. She's fine, like, getting the hell out of this creepy house. The husband is just like, hey, man, this is a free house. We're gonna ride or die in this house with this, like, scary-ass possessed bird. And our super weird acting kid now. And yeah, things do come to a head. I'm not going to spoil it for you. There's a lot going on. There's some secrets they uncover about Uncle Ian and some of his pastimes and what he was kind of getting up to in this, like, cabin in the middle of nowhere. That kind of show that maybe he wasn't the benevolent uncle that the main character kind of grew up thinking he was. And I thought that was kind of fun. Yeah, my first read through, like I said, I didn't like this book. And I went back through it, read it again, and absolutely loved it. Yeah, if you can get a copy, luckily, because of Valancourt, copies are widely available. Highly recommend, like, going to get one. I mean, this was a fun read. This is a quick read, and it has a lot of scenes that'll leave you going like, oh, holy shit. There are times that it does feel dry when you're reading it, especially like in the beginning. So I will urge you to like push through, because it is written like pretty literary, if that makes sense. Like it's not like the fast-paced pulp books or pulpier books that I'm used to. So I did have to like kind of push through in the beginning to kind of like get to the meat of it, which is fine. Like, you know, I'm spoiled when it comes to reading like the things I like to read, and especially like I think the way books tend to be more modern books tend to be, where everything's just like action, 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 right? It almost has like that movie pacing, whereas like older books really don't. And this is an older book, so just kind of bear that in mind. Like, I highly recommend if you do start reading this and you don't like it at the beginning, just to like stick it out, because this book will reward you. Because yeah, at first it's just like, all right, this family and this weird duck thing, I don't get it. And then you get to like some point, you're like, oh, holy crap, like that happened. I also recommend before you read this, if you don't know what a cormorant is, like I did, to Google it. Like it definitely, I think that's also where I messed up, because I didn't really have a picture in my head for what a cormorant was. I basically just thought like big swan or uglier turkey. And that is not what it is at all. So definitely, like, if you don't know what it is, don't like try to picture it off of the descriptions given in the book. Just Google what a cormorant is. You'll thank me later. It definitely adds to the book in a big way. If you've, get this book, read this book, like this book. Let me know if you like this book. If you like folk horror, this is definitely a good folk horror book to read. Like I said, I'm counting it because it does have a lot of the tropes of folk horror. It's kind of a cult horror in a way too, lightly. Not going to spoil how that ties in at all. But definitely read to find out. And if you've read this book, like this book, dislike this book, know more books like this that I should read, please let me know in the comments. And as always, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.